Get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, and don't make a sound. These were the last instructions that Shiemi gave us before the night happened. Yo guys are sorry, you already know that today we are back playing some more Raging Loop. We are hoping to survive the night. I don't know if everybody's going to survive the night. We are in the thick of this game and how it has me hooked, and I cannot wait to see what happens. So I don't know how much more recap that we're doing before the night ends, but the night is ending on this video. It is. Is the day going to start over again? Do we get a day of somebody disappearing and then we investigate? I don't know. I know there's time loop shenanigans. I just don't know when they start taking place. Let's get going. Don't make a sound. We're currently our protagonist is locked inside of an outhouse and was instructed not to make a sound, and he'll be safe. To be frank, the reason why I spent so much time on these delusions was because I was scared of things I didn't know or understand. In the past, people used to attribute stuff like natural phenomena and diseases to gods, devils, yokai, and then do nothing but fear them. They were scared of these manifestations of monsters and whatnot, but on the other hand, it was better than not seeing or not knowing what they really were. The fact that you could die to things you couldn't see or understand made life really unreasonable and unfair. That was why it was very logical to give things names and mental images in order to recognize and memorize them. My fear of things I didn't know was the same, except I wasn't satisfied with just labels or hypotheses. I needed to reach the truth. That aside, what I was feeling right now wasn't a fear of the unknown. It was a realistic, practical fear of something that could endanger my life. Get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, don't make a sound. That meant that outside lurked something dangerous that could hear sounds. Perhaps it was the so-called dead that rose up from the river. Or maybe, assuming I was right with my shenanigan sickness theory, it was people who came out and beat the shit out of all the diseased who didn't follow the rules. The wolf is coming. Maybe the wolf was the title given to the killer? These are interesting theories. Oh, suddenly I heard a scream in the distance! Oh, what? We can only go out and take a look? Oh, no. I want this key so bad. Oh, I want this key so bad. Alright, we're gonna go out and take a look. Oh, that's scary. Wow. That was some timing. Right as I was about to form a new hypothesis, the proof connecting it all suddenly came to me, and it was right outside. It had gotten really dark. There were no lights anywhere. The darkness was fear. Unperceived equals unknown equals dangerous equals scary. Maybe this place was dangerous. Dangerous equals scary equals scary equals scary equals scary. Scary things were scary no matter how much logic you applied. But I couldn't discard my desire to get to know the fear and conquer it. Oh, we dead. We are dead. I opened the door and stopped in place. Night wasn't absolute darkness. No matter how dark or cloudy it was, the sky always gave some bit of light to us. However, I came to understand that it could be hard to see even if there was light. Everything I saw was covered by a dense mist. Combined with the pale moonlight, made the area seem milky. It made it hard to get around. Regardless, I couldn't ignore the scream. There was something beyond this veil. I kept moving forward. Unless my ears were deceiving me, the scream belonged to a woman and had come from the right. I couldn't let myself think that, or rather, I didn't want to think that. The unknown was scary. Personally, I'd found that principle made my life really easy. I had more than enough fear from those which were directly threatening my life. I really didn't want to have the fear of losing someone as well. Change a line of thought, however, Rocky. Solving the mystery might save someone. Two birds with one stone. I began walking faster. Another scream, it was close! Oh my gosh, that's so scary! I realized I had to find a way to protect myself. I was unarmed, so I looked around for anything I could use as a weapon. I felt around to see if there's any branches or anything. Sadly, all I felt was grass. I went deeper and searched the ground itself. Soon, I felt something hard. It was a rock. A moment of digging later, I took it in hand. It was a bit smaller than my hand. I almost teared up at how useless it seemed, but it was better than nothing. I looked at the base of my feet and saw the grassy ground. I could easily move forward if I first checked the ground using my feet. And since I might have been close to danger, I had to focus on what was ahead too. I'd recognized the danger and if possible get rid of it. I concentrated entirely on that and stepped forward. Oh no, what are we gonna see? Okay, I couldn't hear the screams anymore. But I could hear other things. Is that someone being eaten? Is that like, oh gosh, a wet sound? And the sound of something cracking. It filled my mind with countless things I didn't want to imagine. Even so, I kept walking forward, until I saw it. Oh, what are we gonna see? What? Oh my gosh, the wolf has come. Whoa, run. Oh. My hypotheses were nothing but illusions. This is not what I expected. When I was like, oh, a wolf-like creature, that is a ginormous monster. What? The truth was truly something you had to see yourself. But why? Why was this so scary in spite of being true? It wasn't supposed to exist. I wonder, are we going to die to this wolf right now? And then we actually just start the time loop over, and now that we have knowledge of the wolf being there, we'll actually stay inside the whole night. And not die. I wonder. It couldn't exist. After all, it was a wolf with a humanoid body. Oh, please don't get closer. And there's no such thing as werewolves. That's what you like to think. I'm so scared every time it fades out that, like, a big scary image is just gonna like pop on screen the next morning. In a paddy field in Fujiyoshi Yasumizu, 3rd block, someone discovered a thoroughly mangled corpse. The clothes nearby led the discoveries to conclude that it was the traveler Haruaki Fusaishi. I died. Haruaki died. He's still moving. Strangely enough, I could perceive this particular moment. Ayome Bito, purge him. And so I... Goodbye, Haruaki-san. Was finished off by the girl. The feast begins? The last thing I heard. I'll hang the wool... Was that... Whoa, we dead. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I was right about that, but it wasn't just getting attacked by the wolf. It seems like there were some people that either, like, knew about... Oh, man, I don't know. Was that, like, the next morning? Yeah, I guess so. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. Can I... Sorry, not that. Can I... How far back can I see the log? Okay, so we have... someone discovered a thoroughly mangled corpse the next morning. Alright, so this is the next morning. They found my corpse. The discoveries can conclude that it was Haruaki. And then he's still moving. Ayome Bito, purge him. Am I turning into something when the wolf kills? Like, does the wolf turn you into something? It doesn't just kill you. And then they have to kill me before I become maybe another one of those wolf creatures. The feast begins. I'll hang the wool. The wolf, I assume. Interesting. So are they eating me? Okay. Alright. Let's go. Time loop it up, baby. Obtain key 2, Werewolf and Resurrection. You can view it in the keys list. The route unlocked by this key is represented by the same number in the scenario chart. So I assume what that means is... I think that was this one, honestly. Follow the screen. Is that this one here? That's O2. That's the key that we need, right? Is that what that means? Suddenly I heard a scream in the distance. Keep still. Oh, we can go right back to this. Okay. Hopefully I didn't, like... I hope I didn't, like, mess... okay, so this tells me that I'm gonna die. I could go through that again just to see if there was more dialogue. But we got our key, so I think we're fine. So let's just keep still. Oh, that's so cool. We don't have to replay the whole day. We just go back to a point in time that we can make a different decision. Okay, time-wise, I really like that just because... I mean, would you want to sit through a whole hour of just being the same thing and then having the main character being like, wait a minute, I'm repeating this day. So it's not exactly that. It's you're the one controlling when you can go back in time. Oh my gosh, okay, this is so cool. What was that? It sounded like someone's life was in danger. It meant something dangerous was nearby. Wait, I couldn't be rash. The world didn't have many things that logic could explain, like the existence of murderers. But until I saw the source of the scream myself, it was nothing but a source of fear. Get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, and don't make a sound. Now, this is going to be really weird, because I assume Haruaki is not making these decisions with the knowledge of, like, hey, there's a giant wolf creature. But us as a player know that there's, like, a giant wolf creature. So I wonder how the game is going to navigate those two different things. Because, like, we're going to have more knowledge than the character, but, like, I don't want the character to just be, like, completely clueless about everything. We'll see. We'll see. I reached to open the door, but something stayed my hand. It was my promise to Chiemi, but that scream just now was very real. It wasn't normal. I had to assume the situation was dangerous, and maybe I could help if I went out. But that meant endangering myself. I was no saint, and I had no plans to rectify that. If there was something that could get me to walk out, it would be curiosity. My curiosity had won over many dangers thus far, but right now it was weaker than my fear and risk of death. Why? Because I already knew. Okay, so he does know. Shit, what the hell are these memories? Okay, so he does get some memories. Alright, that helps clear things up. It wasn't a premonition, a dream, or anything else that vague. My brain recognized it as something I had experienced. But how? After all, I was still alive, and the time from those memories had yet to come. Was I a precog or something? By God, I swear I'd never experienced anything like this before coming here. And why did the memory come back to me at this particular moment? Regardless, that overwhelming fear, and the pain and death that followed, were exactly what waited for me if I opened the door. I couldn't feel more certain of that. Okay, perfect. Alright, so our main character is going to get somewhat vague memories of this happening, so that way he can act accordingly, and he isn't just like, an unknown force is telling me to do this. It's like he, with some knowledge, is being like, I cannot do this because this will happen to me. Perfect, I love that. Awesome. The thoughts rendered me unable to move, immobile. I stood still, completely certain that I'd lost my chance to leave. I don't know why I'm very curious to check this now, because look at, if we go to the detailed chart, when I was looking at this, look at, up here, keys 3, 8, 19, 20. There's like 4, I don't know if that's 4 different routes. I think it must be. That's crazy. And then there's just one there. I just want to look at like all the keys that we might be looking for. I assume they're just numbered, so there's like 1 of each key. I don't think 1 key is going to do us to multiple things. All right, so that's just tutorial. So we don't need anything in the introduction. Start is just key number 4. That might be one of the later ones. But then we'll be looking for 3, 8, 19, 20. So 20 is the highest number that we've seen so far. Oh, 20 is also there. Oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe some do open up multiple paths. Okay, all right. My curiosity is satisfied for now. So still completely certain that I'd lost my chance to leave. I wasn't child enough to sear at selfish decisions, but this still didn't feel good. Not to mention I was upset at myself for not being able to act like me and just run out simply because I was curious. I didn't even feel saved until that moment. Suddenly the door began to shake. This place had a handle on the outside and someone was pulling on it hard. It was a lock, sure, but there was only so much it could take before it broke. I prepared to pull on it from inside, but didn't there lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, and don't make a sound? What would happen if I did? Whatever was outside would instantly know I was here. Even if I protected the door, the thing had lots of other ways of hurting me. What if it didn't know about me and was just weirded out by this randomly locked toilet? What if I didn't show a hint of fear to what it was doing? It could also just be the next day, and it could be like a person. But I don't know. Would it just leave? I chose to just wait and see. Once again, someone pulled the door, shaking the structure as a whole. I gulped down a scream and focused on the lock. If it broke, it'd be over for me. Over, as in I'd be dead. Yep. That was what that memory told me. I was powerless back then and even more so now. Assuming I tried to fight back, what would work? I'd heard that teeth were the hardest part of the human body, so maybe I could bite? Yeah, I'd tear whatever it was apart with my teeth. I'd bite it to death. I gathered my wits in killing intent. Grinding my teeth, I glared at the door. How long had it been? The sound suddenly stopped. For all I knew, it might have been a ploy to make me drop my guard. I slowly counted to 500, and if nothing happened in that time, I assume it went away. There was no screams or attacks after that, but the silence around me improved my perception, and I heard strange noises every now and then. Breathing, growling calls on the ground. Basically, I felt a beastly presence. It's the wolf! That thing looks so cool, by the way. So the thing actually existed here? Was it what the mist brought here from Saranaga? The wolf is coming. Did they all know about this? Shit, I couldn't learn anything in a place like this, and not knowing things scared me. Trusting my prescience or deja vu or whatever it was, I chose to just stay quiet and wait. I find out everything tomorrow. I just had to make it through the night and then talk to Chiemi, unless Chiemi is the one that got attacked. And if it was something I couldn't solve, I'd just run away. Thankfully, my bike repairs were going well, but I'd be leaving even if it didn't work. I'd walk to Kamifujiyoshi if I had to. Unlike Yasumizu, they might have had reliable means of transport. Yeah, you probably could have thought of that in the first place. For now, I just had to stay awake and make it through the night. Maybe that's the key that we can get when we go back to the... I actually don't remember the very first choice, but I feel like there's probably a choice that just leads us to not even go here in the first place, but I don't know. Alright, now it's May 13th, Tuesday. I never like seeing night gradually turn brighter as the morning arrives. It always made me feel like shit, like I just done something harmful, both for my body and as a human being in general. I found it natural to spend the night asleep and welcome the morning well-rested and with a smile. I never expected to feel so much gratitude for the morning light leaking through the door of an outhouse. It felt like the beasts had been out and about the whole night. Naturally, the high humidity here had made my clothes all wet and sticky. It was unpleasant, but even trying to move them and make it more comfortable for myself like that felt like a matter of life and death. Maybe it was a good thing I couldn't relax, but hell, it was exhausting in more ways than one. When I heard Shimi shout Haraki-san in the distance, I was so overcome with relief I almost fell on my knees. Alright, she's fine. And this turned out to be a trick, and I opened the door to see some wolf with a chewed collar in its mouth lunging for my throat. I just give up and let it have me at this point. With that in mind, I opened the door. I expected to see the same picturesque village I'd seen yesterday, so what I actually saw shocked me pretty hard. What the hell was up with this thick mist? I couldn't see shit. It was like the entire area was consumed by it. Did someone line every inch of this place with dry ice or something? Haraki-san! I could hear Shemi, but not see her. Chimi-chan, right here. Haraki-san, what a relief! Ah! I heard a wet sound and finally saw a silhouette within the mist. Are you okay? I'm stuck in the field. I walked up and saw exactly what I expected. A girl struggling to free one of her legs stuck deep in the paddy field. I see, well, good luck. Hey, help me out. Oh, you can't do it yourself. Take my hand then, and out you go. Ah. I tugged her hand and braced my legs. That was enough to help her, but she lost her balance and... Whoa, safe. Headlock, this is a wrestling move. You're actually pulling it off. Despite how close we were now, this wasn't the least bit romantic. Anyway, I'm glad you're okay. Yeah. I definitely remembered a time where I was far from alright, though. Yeah, I guess I am. I had no idea what that was about, so I didn't see any reason to mention it. I did feel like there was some beast outside. Ooh. Amy's expression immediately darkened. She clearly knew what I was referring to. I have lots of questions, but right now I'm more interested in the scream I heard than anything else. That was... you know what I mean? I felt silent, clearly uncomfortable. It was pretty ominous. This way, no point delaying the inevitable. Maybe gave me your hand. I took it, but I didn't feel the least bit excited about this. You led me down the path to the school dorm. Oh, Fusi, she said, you're okay. Congrats on surviving, Toilet Man. Thanks, warm futon man. You're okay too, Hugh. Wait, where's Haruchan? Did she... Oh, she's fine. She suffered quite a shock, so she's taking a while to get dressed. I see, so the rest of you have already gotten a move on. How did you even handle being in there anyway? Were you asleep? As if I could. I had no idea when I could get out, so I just waited until I heard Shami-chan's voice. You were awake? Asanaga-kun made it sound like that was weird. You try sleeping in there, guy. You can't even sit, much less lie down. No, that's not what I see. I really hate it when people just trail off like that. It makes me way too curious. Why are you here anyway? Waiting for Ho-chan and keeping a lookout. A lookout? We're not letting anyone near the scene until the situation is clear. Scene? So someone actually... Want to see? It's a good way to test your stomach. Mostly don't mess around like that. Yeah, I do. The invisible and unknown were way scarier than anything else. Not to mention, I could already smell something foul. I let you move them aside, walked up to the so-called scene. There was a corpse. It was in such a horrible state, it was hard to recognize it as human. I imagine this was what you would have gotten if you overturned a butcher's cart. That was how thoroughly the victim was disassembled. Also, the butcher would have had to deal in entrails. Enough of that comparison. Straining my eyes to look through the thick mist, I could actually make out some human parts within the vastity of blood, or mountain of death. Hands, torn clothing, hair, and a shoulder bag. How professional. She kept hold of her interviewing tools even while running for her life. Didn't do her odds of survival any favors, though. Is that the reporter chick? Despite the body's state, it wasn't hard to tell the victim was Hisako Mamiya, the small-time food journalist. Okay, that thing. Did it come to me once it was done murdering her? This is awful. Are you alright? Feel nauseous or anything? Maybe was standing a short distance away, looking at nothing in particular. I got nothing to puke, and, well, I'm used to this. Is that what you're studying in college? Well, I guess you can say that. Huh, seriously? So you can do autopsies and stuff? When asked if they study medicine, I guess you can say that is what students from similar departments say to make themselves look good, but I did see a few pathology analyses. I crouched down and put my hands together. Then, grimacing at the harrowing reek of blood, innards, and especially digested food, I brought my face closer. Perhaps I could learn something from this? I could, even if it wasn't much. This corpse wasn't split into pieces. The limbs were still connected, but they were folded in an unnatural way and looked really flattened. They were either crushed or bent with no regard to bones or muscle position. Then her whole body had been torn apart. The innards were particularly badly damaged. The words wolf down felt like the best way to put it. I found it hard to describe. This wasn't my job, so there wasn't much I could tell about it without touching it. This is way beyond anything I've ever seen before. I can barely tell what happened here. I had an urge to add that this seemed inhuman, but I kept myself from saying that. Anyway, we should call the police. Leave it to the pros. I don't think anybody likes that. I said something any good citizen would, but for some reason, they didn't seem to agree. I wonder why. Hiroaki-san, the police won't come. Why wouldn't they? I mean, someone died. They won't. Then let's evacuate. That's not happening either. Why? We have my bike and their van. Anyway, with Fusaishi-san, we now have all the survivors, so let's go to the dining hall. We'll wait for Haru-chan. Yeah, you do that. Let's go, Haruaki-san. Can I get an explanation? Sorry, but I'm not in the mood for explanations. Figure it out for yourself. I thought you said you were going to tell me everything in the morning. It was the first time Chimmy had acted so harsh with me. I was pretty irritated myself, but it must have been worse for them. They actually had info on what was happening here. Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Chimmy said nothing more and just silently walked off. I followed after her. When we reached the plaza, I instantly understood what she said about evacuating. Okay, this seems like a pretty good cutoff point. I assume there's going to be a big conversation at the dining hall, so that way we can discuss this dead body and things that we can do. I really like this game's system of getting keys and then going back to previous points in time. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how much more the game plays out until we get another key and then go down a different route. If there's anything that I should know in terms of like the way that I'm doing it, because like as soon as I got a key, I like went back. If I'm supposed to like let the scene completely play out and then go back, I mean, I guess let me know. But either way, I'm just gonna kind of keep doing what I feel is right, and we'll go from there. Either way, I hope you are enjoying, and I will see you all on the next time. So till then, peace out.